Hey Danielle.
Hey,
Can First question, how old are you?
I am in August 38 years old this year.
Okay. Danielle, can you tell me how you lost your housing and how you ended up here?
Um, we ended up living in Oxnard, me and my significant other,
Mm-hmm.
and the lady we lived with, friends since high school, but she lost her housing and we were living with her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she got into housing with a friend, but there wasn't room for us.
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't going to impose on her. She has a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
We're happy she found a home.
Mm-hmm.
We came up here, ended up in Oakview, staying
Mm-hmm.
with my mom for a while, but even she couldn't do it. They're on a fixed income.
Mm-hmm.
Reverse mortgage on the house, that's the only reason they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they're taking care of my 15-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, I don't want to take anything away from people who really need it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found out someone mentioned that the city hall is letting people camp on property where we're not going to be run off.
Mm-hmm.
For me, that was a big thing because we could camp anywhere, but you don't know, you can't keep anything valuable or close to heart because it could all walk away if you're anywhere else.
Yeah.
It even does here, but they try to do their best, and I appreciate it.
So Danielle, you grew up in Oakview.
Mm-hmm. Since I was 2.
Yep. And you remind me where you went to school.
Uh, in Oakview, I was one of the last kids at the old Oakview Elementary.
Okay.
They closed it down. Now it's part of the community
Excuse
center.
me. Okay.
The library's in the old building that used to be our classrooms.
Mm-hmm. So, were you in Oakview and then you and Josh moved to Oxnard for housing reasons?
Um, we were from Oxnard. We moved back to Oakview
I got you. Okay.
after we lost our home with our friend who
I
lived
see.
in Oxnard.
I see.
So
Um,
unfortunately, there's just not much we can do. I work up here. I don't
mhm.
drive. I have epilepsy and hypoglycemia. I will
Um,
not get behind the wheel of a car. It's too dangerous.
Tell me about your job. Where do you work?
I am a housekeeper at the Ojai Valley Athletic Club.
Okay.
My bosses all know the situation. Of all the people in Ojai, they seem to be the most understanding.
Wow.
I mean, when there's people coming in doing stuff like the interviews today, if that
Hmm.
had happened during the week, all I would have had to do is call work and let them know that there are people trying to help us out here, and they'd let me go in later.
Wow.
Shift my hours however they need to because they understand that we're just trying to get in a stable place.
Yeah. How many days a week do you work at the athletic club?
5 days a week,
Okay.
Monday through Friday.
Okay.
I'm only doing 4-hour shifts because of the disabilities and stuff that I
Yeah.
have going on,
Yeah.
but at least we have something.
Yeah.
It's not easy, but $17 an hour is still a whole lot better than no dollars an hour.
Indeed.
I'm never going to turn away from it. I grew up here.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we spent every summer at the athletic club in the pool.
When it was the racket club.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when the job opened up, what was I going to do?
That's
I couldn't say
amazing.
no.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that that place was still there for other kids like me who had, at home, it may have been troublesome, but you went to the club and it didn't matter who you were.
Yeah.
You fit in.
Yeah.
Everybody welcomed you. So the job is the only thing that makes us able to even get by right now.
Yeah. And your partner Josh is working as well, right?
He's down to 1 day a week because of the $20 an hour minimum wage hike.
And where's Josh working?
Taco Bell.
At Taco Bell. So how many hours a week?
He's doing 4 to 8 hours a week.
I see. And his hours were
and it's
recently cut.
1 day a week.
Wow.
That's what he's to now. He used to work 4 to 5 days a week
At Taco Bell.
at Taco Bell. But as soon as that minimum wage hike hit, they cut all of the lower workers' hours just so that the other rest of the company didn't feel the sting of it.
Yeah.
Well, what's the point if you're not? People work so they can make a living. Why would they be working for you if they can't make a living?
Yeah. And is Josh looking for a new job?
He's
now?
been looking for about 2 months, and no one will even give him a second glance.
Tell me more about that.
We don't know exactly what's going on. He's tried all different aspects, from any of the little shops in the strip mall to working over. He tried applying for the animal shelter, just because he knew that his appearance may not be exactly what people in Main Street would be looking for, but no one will even call him back.
And do you think he's being discriminated against based on his appearance or
I
based
think
on...
he's being discriminated against because of the class we are in. It's not the appearance. There's plenty of people up here with curly hair and beards.
Yep.
But Ojai seems to have a classist system.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't fit into their mold, you're not welcome in their circles.
So that leads me to my next question, which is, there's obviously a lot of misconceptions about who lives here. Can you talk to me about that? Is there what would you like folks to know about the people who live here?
That the majority, at least 70% of the people here are just trying to get by.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing the right things. We're trying to work. My boyfriend would be working full time if he was given the opportunity.
Yeah.
I'd work full time if I was capable of doing so.
Yeah.
But even two people working full time can't afford rent up here.
Right. Right.
And then when, like you said, the way they pay attention to us is they're looking at all the bad things.
Mm-hmm.
The few people here that give it a bad name are what everybody focuses on. The rest of us just want to get by. We got stuck in a bad situation with COVID and credit scores and everything falling.
Yeah.
And we haven't been able to pick ourselves back up because this is where we are.
Yeah.
We can't even afford a little membership online for the credit help companies.
Wow.
Because they charge you per month to help fix your credit. That would be great. But who can afford that when you're living here?
Right. And what would moving into those private rooms mean for you and Josh?
Well, better sleep for one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chaos that happens after dark when, hate to say it, the troublemakers think no one's watching.
Mm.
And these tents are great. They are like a little home,
mm-hmm.
but they are not soundproof.
Right.
And those of us who do have to get up with an alarm in the morning can't put earplugs
in. Mm-hmm. One more question. So you and Josh used to live down further on the City Hall campus, closer to the creek.
Mm-hmm.
You two have moved into a tent on this Kent Hall parking lot. Tell me about the experience of living down there and moving to this city-provided tent.
I like the tent and the docking and everything.
You like the new tent, okay?
But I can say that down by the creek bed, we had more peace.
Mm-hmm.
The river cut out the noise from all the noisy neighbors up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
The coyotes and the frogs were not a problem to us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's wildlife.
Yeah.
You live with it.
Yeah.
You learn how to deal with it. We have 2 indoor cats.
Mm-hmm.
And they were fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we're up here, they're scared half to death because of all the noise.
Oh, okay.
They're settling in okay, but my 2 cats jump off of wherever they were laying down dead asleep as soon as someone comes up with a loud truck or
Mm-hmm.
someone runs by yelling at another person.
Yeah.
People don't think about the lack of peace.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had any choice, I would have said put a dock down there with our tent and leave it down there.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to be a part of the chaos.
Yeah.
We came up, we checked in with a few people that we truly felt connected to. You guys talked to Jamie before.
Mm-hmm.
She's the honorary grandma for me.
Is there anything else that I didn't ask you about that you'd like to share?
Well, more and more people around here might need a little bit more help because more and more people are getting pets to protect themselves.
Interesting.
We had 2 more dogs move in the last month because elderly women want to make sure that they're okay.
Right.
So maybe if the companies around can get the vets to give us vouchers to help and check up on our animals.
Mm-hmm.
We can walk over and get food and stuff from the shelter, but they don't hand out dewormer. They don't hand out flea meds. They don't. So little things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone in town who's looking to try and help us, it's not just our food because we have food pantries.
Yep.
The animals are being neglected more just because no one thinks about them.
I see.
We have 2 cats. I'd have a dog myself, but you don't combine 2 in-home cats with a dog.
Yes. Well, thank you.
And people also need help because we have a rodent issue.
Yes. Can you tell me about the rodent issue?
We haven't had that problem because of the indoor cats.
Right.
But all of our neighbors are talking about how the ground squirrels and the rats are getting into their stuff all the time.
So they're getting into the tents.
Anyone who has not, like me and Jamie, sealed the front flaps of those tents with either Velcro or something, they come in and out all night and all day.
Oof.
So I don't know, especially along the wall here against the grass on the edge of the parking lot, those smaller tents are being inundated with a rodent problem.
God. Thank you.
Simply because I don't think a lot of people think about taking care of that particular problem.
Yeah. And it's like you have food in your tent, right?
I mean, we keep all of our stuff canned and in our storage for that reason.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things. It's common sense. If you don't want to draw the animals, don't bring what draws the animals into your tent.
Yeah.
We have the storages.
Yeah, that's true.
All ours is literally clothing and walls of food.
Yeah.
Our canned foods.
Yeah.
Even our dry foods. And if we start seeing problems, then we actually put a little bit of grains on the edge of our platform to draw them away from where we are.
Is very smart. Very smart.
But people need help.
Yeah.
If we can get just a pesticide person out here with some traps, maybe that'll help too. We don't want to hurt what's local, but we can't infect everybody else either.
Yeah.
So
thank you, Danielle. That was really helpful.
We got a few issues, but most of us are trying to work it out.